Сохранишь быстро. Welcome to Zoom. Enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
Good.
Hey Neil, how you doing?
Hello, Ted. How you doing?
I'm well.
Happy Friday. Wow.
Happy Friday.
I'd like to introduce you to my wife, Ann. This is Ted, our longtime Public Works City Attorney.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you. I really enjoy working.
I know why. He's an awesome person and fun to work with.
I agree completely.
Thank you, Ted. Good. Good afternoon. Oh, I see what's happening. It's coming.
Hi, everyone. This is Fernando Campos, the Executive Officer with the Board of Public Works. We are having some technical difficulties right now. We do have a couple of folks that are trying to get on the line. Our capacity is about 150. I only see about 80 people on the line at this time. So we are working with our IT group to figure out what's the how we can overcome this technical difficulty. So please bear with us and give us another 10, 15 minutes. Thank you. And please keep in mind that the line is open. Council audio lines are open. Whatever you speak, everyone can hear you.
Fernando? This is Aura. I'm on the phone. I can't seem to get into the link.
It's a bad getaway.
Commissioner, just please bear with us. We're having some technical difficulties.
Okay, no problem. Just making sure it wasn't just me.
No, there's several of us. Thank you.
Okay. I'll be standing by.
Hello? Hello? Bad getaway, huh?
Welcome to Zoom. Enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
What I can do is make it to where it's speaker view, so whoever's speaking will pop up on the screen for you. Yeah. No, no worries. So if you turn your mic on, it's right. I don't think so. I'll go in and see how it goes.
Good afternoon, folks. In case you can hear me, I just want to apologize. We're not ready to start yet, and perhaps emblematic of the times we're in, we are having significant technical difficulties. So please be patient and stay tuned. We will get this working.
I think that means no one can retire, is what I'm hearing.
Commissioner Caloza, hi.
Hi.
Would it be
I
helpful?
think you have a basis for a continuance. It's 30 minutes.
Would it be helpful if we all got off and then came back on?
No, apparently.
Okay.
But
Are you on, Teresa?
Yes, I got on early.
I was on early and I disconnected to try to figure out what's going on, and I now cannot connect.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. It might be working. Oh, I just got in, so problem might be solved.
Do we have to start all over again? My screen shows 502 bad gateway.
I'm on, yet video and screen. I was able to get in.
Great. Commissioner Villegas, is your video on? And we're still missing Dr. Davis.
Fernando, Commissioner Davis is in the meeting.
President Good, I believe everyone is on the line now.
Okay, we ready to start?
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Great, yes, we can start now. I'm going to hit the recording. And President Good, before I hit the recording start, I have not screened any of the callers at this time. So if you would indulge me a minute or two at the start of the meeting, I can screen the callers for any commentary.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, you are in record mode. Mr. President, we're ready to start when you are.
Okay. I'm sorry, you may have said that and I didn't quite get it. Dutch Campos, remember the sound in here is less ideal than my office. So good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this special meeting of the LA City Board of Public Works for Friday, November 6, 2020. Again, on behalf of the pandemic and technology, my apologies for the delay. This has been as frustrating, I'm sure, for y'all, and it's certainly been frustrating for us. So with that, we will quickly jump in. Dr. Campos, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer with the Board of Public Works. Establishing roll call and quorum for today, we have President Good, Vice President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioners Caloza and Villegas. For the record, President Good is calling in from his office here at City Hall, and all other commissioners are dialing in remotely from their home. I am calling in from City Hall myself. We're also joined by our General Counsel, Mr. Ted Jordan, who is dialing in remotely from his home as well, remotely. Mr. President, at this time, I'd like to ask the members of the general public if they'd like to speak on any general public comments, if they can raise their hand by pressing star 9 at this time to identify if anyone has any public comments. At this time, members of the general public, if you can please press star 9 on your landline or mobile device for public comments. Great, Mr. President. We do have one member of the public that is on the line for public comments. At this time, we currently do not have any commentary under the Neighborhood Council comment section. Also, Mr. President, due to the size of the number of participants that are on the line, we can go through each item and then ask for any public commentary at that time, every item that we go through the item, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Okay, perfect. So we do have one member of the public in general public comment, and we have no commentary for the Neighborhood Council comment section.
Okay, let's open it up for the general public comment.
Great, thank you, Mr. President. Caller ending in 682, caller ending in 682. Can you please unmute your microphone at this time by pressing star 6? You'll be given 2 minutes to speak under general public comment. Please go ahead by introducing yourself first, and then please proceed.
Good afternoon. This is Dr. Clyde Thomas Williams, or Dr. Tom. El Sereno, CD 14 resident for 30 some odd years. And basically, my general comment is, why isn't there an agenda item for general comments? I was told that because it's a special meeting, they don't have to take general public comments, whereas other special meetings that regularly occur have general comments as part of the agenda item. So I'd highly recommend that the agendas be revised under either special or general, that they allow for public comments at the beginning of the agendas. That's all.
Thank you, Dr. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
All right, that's it, Dr. Campos?
That is it. Yes, that's correct, Mr. President.
Okay. All right, colleagues, as a starting point, please note, unless there are objections, I would like to continue item number 2, and item number 6, and item number 14 to next Friday, Friday, November 13th. Dr. Campos, you got that?
Yes, item number 2, 6, and 14 will be continued to Friday, November 13th.
Great. All right. So with that, we'll take item number 1. Item number 1 is approval of the minutes from Tuesday, October 23, 2020. Do I have a second to my motion to approve?
Mr. President, we may have some commentary on the line for item number 1. I apologize for interrupting.
That's all right.
But we did receive also a commentary on Google Form through our website, a commentary on item number 1 as well. I can read that into the record.
Okay. Please do.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Members of the public, if you'd like to speak on item number 1, please press star 9 at this time to raise your hand to speak on item number 1. The Board of Public Works is now considering the approval of the minutes for Tuesday, October 23rd. Great, Mr. President, we do have one caller on the line, Mr. Tom Williams. Mr. Williams, can you please press star 6 at this time? You will be given 2 minutes to speak on item number 1.
It's the same comment as before for the general public comments. Since on the agenda there was no provision for general public comments, I put it down as number 1. So it's already been done. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Williams.
Thank you, Dr. Williams.
Does that conclude, Fernando?
Yes, that does conclude commentary on item number 1.
Right. All right. So do I have a second to my motion to approve the minutes for Tuesday, October 23?
Second.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Any objections? Vice President Garcia?
No objections.
Okay. Any objections, Commissioners Coloso or Villegas?
No objections, thank you.
And no objections.
All right. So hearing no objections, the minutes from Tuesday, October 23 are approved forthwith. Colleagues, let's move forward actually in the agenda to item number 7. Item number 7 is in CD1. It's an authority for expenditure, Department of Toxic Substance Control. Bureau of Engineering and Office of Accounting are requesting board approval and execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $49,625.01 for the Taylor Yard G2 cost incurred from April 2020 to June 2020. Dr. Campos, is there any comment on this item?
Members of the general public, if you'd like to speak on item number 7, the Board of Public Works is now considering an authority for expenditure with the Department of Toxic Substance Control. Please press star 6 at this time. I'm sorry, my apologies, star 9 at this time to raise your hand. Mr. President, we do have one caller on the line for item number 7, Mr. Tom Williams. Dr. Williams, can you please press star 6 on your device? You'll be given 2 minutes to speak on this item. Item number 7. Please go ahead.
I don't believe I put in for number 7. I did put in for number 8, the
8
AFE.
and 14. 8 and 14, I do have commentary on 8 and 14 for you. You had your hand raised for item number 7.
Dr. Tom Williams, but it's for the Los Angeles Neighborhood Initiative motion.
That's a separate item. That's item number 8, Dr. Williams.
That's number 8. So just leave it as it is. Thank you.
Okay, for item number 7, Dr. Campos, any other callers or commentary?
Not at this time, Mr. President.
Okay, so Chris Johnson is with us today to present on item number 7. Good afternoon, Chris.
Good afternoon, Chris Johnson, Bureau of Engineering, Clean Water Division. This item is an authority for expenditure to pay the Department of Toxic Substances Control for their support and review of our environmental site assessment and remediation plan development work at the Taylor Yard G2 parcel in CD1. The amount that this covers months of April through June of their services, totaling $49,625.01. These funds are available in MICLA funds that are appropriate for use for this task. I can answer any questions if you have them.
Thank you, Chris. Colleagues, let's start with Vice President Garcia. Any questions or comments?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. President Pro Tem Davis?
Yeah, just, Chris, what is the scope of the work that they did for us on this project?
Okay, well, for the entire site, it's a 40-acre site. We've done, the city has done environmental assessments, including investigation, drilling, testing, and assessing contamination at the former rail yard. They are the state regulator that we have a California land reuse and agreement with. It's a voluntary cleanup agreement. So they're stepping along with us, reviewing our work, and will continue to do so throughout the course of the project. And of course, they bill us for that service.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Vice President or Commissioner Closa?
I don't have any questions, thank you.
All right. And Commissioner Villegas?
I don't have any questions either. It's a fabulous project.
Yeah, it's very exciting. All right, thank you. I will say, Chris, I'm going to assume you need to collaborate with Deputy City Attorney David Michelson and contemplate forming a band for your COVID beards. So thank you for the presentation.
Maybe ZZ Tops.
That's very on point, Commissioner. That's exactly right.
I was a hit as Obi-Wan Kenobi at Halloween.
All right. Hearing no questions, do I have a motion to move the item forward?
So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Any objections, Commissioner Colosa or Vice President Garcia?
No, thank you.
No objections.
All right, thank you. Hearing no objections, the item is approved forthwith with a motion by Commissioner Villegas, seconded by President Pro Tem Davis. Let's move quickly, to item number, let's go to item number 8. Item number 8 is in CD 10. It is an authority for expenditure, Los Angeles Neighborhood Initiative. Bureau of Street Services and Office of Accounting are requesting board approval and execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $200,000 to pay for project management, community outreach, and oversight of design services to create a community-approved greening plan for La Cienega and La Brea Boulevards between Stocker and Coliseum Streets. In addition, the vendor will make payment to Intuitive Real Estate Solutions for greening work completed and approved by Council District 10 in February 2020. Authorize the President or 2 members of the Board of Public Works to execute the contract after approval as to form as has been obtained from the City Attorney. Kevin Meehan is with us from Streets LA. Good afternoon, Kevin.
Mr. President, would you like to consider the public commentaries before the presentation or after the presentation?
Yes, no, I appreciate that reminder, Dr. Campos. I know Dr. Williams is on the line. Yes, let's go ahead and hear comment.
Yes, just for the record, Dr. Williams also submitted a commentary through Google form. I can read that into the record, or I can just dispatch him through the call at this time and he can present his item.
If Dr. Williams is on the call, let's go ahead and let him speak.
Great.
Please.
Dr. Williams, can you please press *6 at this time to unmute your device? You'll be given 2 minutes to speak on item number 8.
Thank you. I have submitted the written comments, and they stand. The basic element is that neighborhood councils should be incorporated into such things as project management, community outreach especially, and participate with the Department of Neighborhood Environment, because we need the same thing for Huntington Drive from Maycrest to Broadway. So I think this particular initiative could be universal for the 99 neighborhood councils. We all have various places that we would like to greatly improve through a greening plan. So make it more publicly available. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. Dr. Campos, any other callers?
I will go ahead and double check. Members of the general public, if you would like to speak on item number 8, at this time the Board of Public Works is considering the authority for expenditure with the Los Angeles Neighborhood Initiative. If you can please press *9 at this time on your device. One last call, members of the public, if you'd like to speak on item number 8, please press *9 at this time to raise your hand. Mr. President, that clears the queue for any public commentary on this item.
Okay, so with that, colleagues, let's open it up for conversation. Any questions or comments, Vice President Garcia?
No, not right this moment.
Okay, thank you. President Pro Tem Davis?
Sorry about that. None for me on this item.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Calosa?
No questions, thank you.
And Commissioner Villegas?
No questions, thanks.
All right. As y'all saw, I made a quick shift. It's good to actually see y'all in marginal proximity. All right, so hearing no questions, I will motion to move this item forward. Please note this is not, this has been waived by the mayor's cost containment process. Do I have a second to my motion to move this forward?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Any objections, President Pro Tem Davis?
None.
Vice President Garcia?
None.
Commissioner Calosa?
None.
All right, hearing no objections, the item is approved and moved forthwith. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, colleagues. Let's move on to item number 9. Item number 9, this is an administrative item. The mayor has approved and authorized the Board of Public Works to execute the change orders that are sent to the Board of Public Works for approval for projects currently in construction, which are required for the delivery of the original project scope. These no longer need to be sent for city attorney or mayor's office review under the cost containment memo. Does anyone have any questions about this? All right, Dr. Campos, anything you would add?
I would not add anything to this item. It's just it's a communication from the mayor's office to authorize this board to move forward with any change orders that will no longer be required to be reviewed under the cost containment memo instructions. So no additional add-ons.
Thank you. And yes, this is, a matter of the mayor's office continuing to consider process as we navigate these very uncharted territories. So thank you, Dr. Campos. Do I have a motion to move this forward?
Mr. President, I do have one caller. Sorry to interrupt again. I do have one caller with their hand raised, Ms. Newman. I'm not sure if she is willing to speak on item number 9 or whether she raised her hand while we were deliberating item number 8. I'm going to go ahead and check at this time if that's okay with you.
Yeah, please.
All right, caller, Mrs. Newman. The Board of Public Works is now considering item number 9. Your hand is raised at this time. I believe Ms. Newman just lowered her hand. Mr. President, now you're okay to present the motion.
All right. Do I have a motion to move this forward?
So moved.
Approve the item? All right. Good. I'm going to give that to Vice President Garcia. I'm going to take that as a second from President Pro Tem Davis.
Yes.
Any objections or concerns, Commissioners Villegas or Calosa?
None for me, thank you.
All right. So the item is approved and moved forthwith. That brings us to item number 10. This is a release of stop payment notice, Western Rentals. Western Rentals is transmitting a release of stop payment notice in the amount of $6,675.32 for furnishing heavy equipment rentals in connection with the 1602 Elevado Street, Los Angeles, Marty, 1602 Elevado Street, Los Angeles, California 90026 project. Quite the name. The primary contractor for this project is Mike Bubalo Construction Company, Inc. This is, again, there's no presentation on this. This is a release of the stop notice. Do I have a motion to move this forward?
So moved.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas and Commissioner Garcia. Do I have any objections from Commissioner Calosa?
I have no objections.
All right, no one wanting to speak. Dr. Campos?
I can check the lines, Mr. President. Members of the public, the Board of Public Works has changed categories to the communication items 10 through 14. If you'd like to speak on any of these items, again, 10 through 14, please press star 9 at this time to raise your hand. Star 9 to raise your hand on items 10 through 14 to speak on any of those items. Mr. President, no commentary or no speakers on items 10 through 13.
Right, so hearing no objections from the board, the item is received forthwith. That brings us to item number 11, release of stop payment notice, Western Rentals. Again, Western Rentals is transmitting a release of stop payment notice in the amount of $1,778.15 for furnishing heavy equipment rentals in connection with the East 4th Street and Seton Street, Los Angeles, California, 90015 project. The primary contractor for this project is also Mike Bubalo Construction Company, Inc. Anyone, Dr. Campos, wanting to talk?
No one else is on the queue yet.
All right. This is an administrative item, no presentation. Do I have a motion to move this forward, colleagues?
So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Do I have a second?
I'll move.
Thank you, Commissioner Colosa. Any objections, Vice President Garcia or President Pro Tem Davis?
No objections.
Great, thank you.
None for me.
Great, thank you to President Pro Tem Davis. Hearing no objections, the item is received forthwith and moved forward. That brings us to another release of stop payment notice from Western Rentals, item number 12. Western Rentals is transmitting a release of stop payment notice in the amount of $818 for furnishing heavy equipment rentals in connection with the 913 Main Street Venice project. The primary contractor for this project is Mike Bubalo Construction Company, Inc. This is an administrative item, no presentation. Do I have a motion to receive and move this forward forthwith?
Move this.
Thank you, Commissioner Colosa, seconded by Commissioner Villegas. Vice President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis, any objections or concerns?
No objections.
Great, thank you. Hearing none, the item is received and moved forward forthwith. Bringing us to item number 13. Item number 13 is a bond to release stop payment notice. Honeywell International, Inc. Honeywell International, Inc. and the Federal Insurance Company is transmitting a bond to release money withheld on stop payment notice filed by Morrow Meadows Corporation. Bond amount of $2,606,902 for furnishing electrical work in connection with the Los Angeles Wastewater Control System Replacement Project. Also an administrative item, no presentation. I will motion to move this item forward as received. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Colosa. Any objections, Vice President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis, or Commissioner Villegas?
No objections.
None for me.
No objections for me, thank you.
Excuse me.
Hearing no objections, the item is received and approved forthwith. Let's go back now, colleagues, to item number 2. Excuse me, item number 3. Item number 3 is in CD4. This is a tree removal. 3533.5 Multi-View Drive, recommending the board, 1, find that this project is categorically exempt under Article 19, Section 15303, Class 3, Category 1 of the city's Environmental Quality Act guidelines, and there is no substantial evidence the proposed project will have significant effect on the environment and is compliant with the California Environmental Quality Act. 2, find that none of the exceptions to the use of categorical exemption as set forth in Section 15303 of state CEQA guidelines apply. 3, specify that the Bureau of Street Services Urban Forestry Division, located at 1149 South Broadway, is custodian of the documents or other material that constitute the record of proceedings upon which the board's decision is based. And 4, review and approve the request for a fee permit for 1 Coast Live Oak and 2 Southern California walnut trees. Tree replacements are required. Hector Banuelos from Streets LA is here with us. Do we have any comment before Hector starts? Dr. Campos?
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the general public, if you'd like to speak on item number 3, the Board of Public Works is now considering item number 3, which is the tree removal at 3533.5 Multi-View Drive. If you'd like to make any commentaries on this item, item number 3, please press star 9 to raise your hand. Again, the Board of Public Works is considering item number 3, a tree removal on Multi-View Drive, 3355.5 Multi-View Drive. please raise your hand by pressing star 9. Mr. President, we do have 2 members of the public that would like to speak on this item. We'll go ahead and start with the first caller ending in 688. Caller ending in 688. Please press star 6 at this time to unmute your microphone. You'll be given 2 minutes to speak on this item. Please go ahead. Please state your name.
Hello, this is Diana Nicole. I'm a landscape ecologist. The City of LA has continued to experience tremendous development pressures on our natural resources, which I believe all the commissioners are aware of. So here we go again. Another urban woodland that the city has decided is categorically exempt from environmental review. The U.S. Forest Service says urban woodlands, just like this one, are biodiversity hotspots in cities. They cool surrounding air temperatures, provide habitat for wildlife, store a lot of carbon, and serve as stopover sites for migratory birds. For these reasons and more, they are a critical component of climate resilience, public health, and community well-being. But in the city of LA, they are being treated as if they're insignificant. At a recent hearing for another urban woodland destruction for development just like this one, city staff claimed categorical exemption from CEQA again. They also claimed at the same time that some type of environmental review had been done by the city by a biologist. I believe that claim was false. There's no biologist at the city that performs environmental analysis on these urban woodlands. And our city arborists, while performing some great services for us, are not qualified to perform environmental reviews. The city needs to move toward a science-based approach to urban forest management. We currently have no science reviewing these projects, or scientists, and our city arborists are not ecological scientists. They may not even possess a 4-year degree in natural resources science. Yet I often hear you ask city staff questions that only ecological scientists are qualified to answer. Very often, the answers you get are inaccurate. So I don't know how you can make sound decisions without accurate information from the qualified experts and without having proper environmental review. I ask the board to consider that these urban woodlands need proper evaluation for their environmental value, which can't happen with city arborists.
Thank you. Okay, Dr. Campos?
Thank you. We'll move on to the next caller and last caller on the line. Caller ending in 352. Caller ending in 352. Can you please press star 6 at this time? You'll be given 2 minutes to speak on item number 3. Please start with your name.
Hi, this is Andrew Odom. I am the representative for the owner, Juan Azule of 3533 and a half Multiview. We're here today to seek approval of removal of 3 protected trees on site. This project has been extensively reviewed by the Department of City Planning as a part of a zoning administrator case and a Mulholland Design Review Board case that began in 2018 and wrapped up earlier this year. The project is located on a vacant lot off of Multiview Drive. The home hugs the street. There are 3 protected trees that are in the exact footprint of the house. However, this house is providing another housing unit to add to the housing stock here in the city of Los Angeles, and is not over in size compared to its neighbors. As well as the removal of the 3 protected trees, there's several other trees on site that are remaining and protected in place, as shown and demonstrated in our tree report. If you have any other further questions about the project itself, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Odom. All right, Hector, can you please kick us off with your presentation?
Yes, good afternoon, President Good, Commissioners. Hector Back, Urban Forestry Division. We have before us is a request to remove 3 protected trees, which include 1 coastal live oak and 2 Southern California black walnuts, for construction of a single-family residence at 3533 and a half Multiview Drive. That's in Council District 4. the project is located within the Drive Scenic Corridor. As previously mentioned, the project was reviewed by the Department of City Planning and the determination was made by that department. And also the Department of City Planning did prepare a notice of exemption and did determine that the project is categorically exempt under Section 15303, Class 3, Article 1 of the City CEQA guidelines. So here we have the property owner is proposing to construct a 3,189 square foot residential floor area, three-story house on a lot that measures approximately 17,744 square feet. It has moderate topography there, and there are 3 protected trees located within and directly adjacent to the footprint of the proposed structure. There are 8 protected trees on the site. 5 protected trees will be retained in place and protected and retained in place. They are 2 walnuts and 4 coast live oak trees that are going to remain on the property. The Council Office 4 and the Community Forestry Advisory Committee and the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment were informed for the tree permit request. The division has not received any inquiries or opposition to the request for the permit for 3 trees. If approved, the applicant shall plant 4 24-inch box size coast live oak trees and 8 15-gallon or larger Southern California black walnut, or actually the largest container size available of the Southern California black walnut. The trees will be guaranteed for a minimum period of 3 years by bond, and they will be maintained and watered for a minimum 3-year period as well. That concludes my presentation. Do we have any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Van Willis. All right, colleagues, any questions or comments? Let's start with Vice President Garcia.
Thank you, President Good. Hector, happy Friday. Hector, you said they're going to replace these 3 trees, right? At the protected rate that we have?
There are 3 trees for removal. They will be replacing 12 protected trees in total.
And I'm sorry, just to clarify, the ones that they will be replacing are also going to be protected trees, right?
They are going to be native species, that's correct.
Okay. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Garcia. President Pro Tem Davis?
Yes, Hector, I wanted to ask about the earlier remarks that was given in terms of the evaluation that we do in this city. We have, I guess, arborists and we have biologists. Some question was raised in terms of our evaluation of this project and the trees, and that the findings of our biologists or arborists, whichever of the 2 we used, was questioned in terms of what we discovered about our evaluation of the trees. Could you speak a little on what occurred as it relates to this particular project?
Well, the division only reviews the reports and reviews the accuracy of the reports and the condition of the trees and verify the size and condition of the trees on the project. We are not biologists, as previously stated. We do not have biologists on our staff. We've been requesting that within our budget. Unfortunately, we have not been budgeted for biologists and for secret experts. Right? So we do depend a lot on Department of City Planning to give us the determinations pursuant to CEQA.
Okay. And the findings that we discovered on the CEQA was that this project was ready to go, and we were certainly, obviously, in sync with what the CEQA requirements are, correct?
As far as I know, they are correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Any questions or comments? Commissioner Coloso?
Thank you, President Good. Thank you, Mr. Van Willis, for your presentation, as always. Just to kind of follow up with what Commissioner Davis asked, I understand and really appreciate you sharing the budget restraints, and it's not for a lack of trying in terms of wanting these specific experts on the Streets LA team. I did also just want to comment that, while I appreciate the comments shared and, the expertise from the caller. I also want to make sure that the Streets LA team knows that that does by no shape or form diminish the work that you've all done and do as experts in urban forestry, and that you take great pride in the work that you do before you bring these types of reports to the board, even if you may not have those specific experts on your team. And I also wanted to point out a section here in the report that if you can just briefly elaborate, that might be helpful. But can you just please specify what the requirements are for the expert that we require for review of this project?
Well, as far as the division goes, and as part of the permit request, we do require that the applicant submit a protected tree report written by a reputable tree expert as defined within Municipal Code 4601. So that's an arborist or an individual who has 4 years minimum experience with tree care.
And that's, thank you for sharing. That's also in the board report materials, and, I just wanted to point that out since that was raised earlier, that, experts do review this and take it seriously. And just one last question from me on this is, were there any trees saved, Mr. Benuelos, in the review of this project?
I'm sorry, Commissioner, I didn't quite understand the question. Can you please repeat it?
Yeah, in the review of this project, were there any trees that you were able to save upon reviewing it by UFD? Just curious.
Well, yeah, we scrutinize all the projects that come before us. And on this particular one, we did look for any potential alternatives to save and keep any of the trees. One of the trees there that within the footprint, one of the walnuts there, is actually in pretty poor condition. It does have evidence of previous limb failure on it, and the two walnuts are pretty much right smack in the middle of the proposed project. There is one mature oak tree that's going to be impacted, but that's on the upper part of the slope there, and it's right directly adjacent to the building. There's going to be there's going to be some soil work done, and if the tree was remained, it would be really severely impacted, and we do not believe that. We agree with the arborist that wrote the report, and that the tree will be severely impacted, most likely will not survive or potentially fail as a result of the amount of roots that need to be cut for the construction of the project.
Thank you for that additional detail, Mr. Benuelos. I don't have any other questions. Thanks, President Good.
Thank you. Yes, I just wanted to add also that there are 5 trees, other 5 protected trees on the property that are going to be retained.
Thank you, Hector, and thank you, Commissioner Calosa. Commissioner Villegas.
Thank you. I appreciate the comments that were shared. I just have a few questions, and you, Mr. Benuelos, you made those comments earlier, but I just wanted to elaborate a little bit more so that it's clear. So the tree report is done by an independent arborist, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And who makes the determination on the categorical exemption?
In this case, it was performed by the Department of City Planning.
And city planning, do they have what kind of background do the people who give this exemption, what kind of background do they have?
I do not know.
What gives them the authority to be able to say categorically exempt? Do you know that?
No, I don't. I do not know. There's a lot of people that work within the Department of City Planning. I do not know what their backgrounds are.
Commissioner, this is City Attorney. Just to clarify Mr. Benuelos' remarks, as is shown in the report that you have in front of you, I believe it's transmittal number 4, that as part of the planning process, the planning department did find that the project is exempt. I believe that was done in conjunction with the zoning administrator's determination. The Board of Public Works will actually be on our agenda, essentially making that same determination. So unlike an EIR where one department can adopt an EIR and another department can simply make a determination that the facts are the same and nothing's changed. Here in this case, the Board of Public Works will also be making the determination that the project is exempt. It's the same determination that the planning department did as part of the ZA process back in September of 2019, and that was following a public process similar to the public process that we're doing here. Planning staff is very familiar with the use of the categorical exemptions, particularly the exemption here, which is for single-family homes. And in the notice of exemption documentation as part of your report, you'll see their evaluation of the exemption and the determination that none of the applicable exceptions to the use of the categorical exemption, but none of the exceptions apply. So the record is all before you in the transmittals number 4 and 5 of your report. But if the board chooses to act on the matter, you will also be making the determination that the project is exempt.
I appreciate that clarification. I did see those. Actually got briefed on the project, so I'm very familiar with this report. I just wanted to put it for the public record, just because we had, public comment. So thank you for elaborating on that, even further. It is by no way taken lightly. These decisions are obviously, made with a lot of determination and a lot of abiding by rules and the law. And for additional housing as we need in Los Angeles, I think this is, still the price that we pay for urbanization. And whether somebody chooses to, think of that as, not in the best light. This is the situation that, this board has been dealt today. That is all my comment, President Good.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Yeah, echoing, anytime an item comes up in which trees have to be removed, there's a little bit of heartache. When you talk about protected trees, there's more heartache. And that's practical and real and appropriate. It seems to me, in reading this report, that there's been significant diligence attached to the review of the project. Again, you have clearly intentional effort to protect 5 of the protected trees, which I think is meaningful, and then again to replace them with very substantial native protected trees as well. One thing, Mr. Benuelos, that I would like to just stress is that we adhere tightly. I apologize for the sirens, in case that's blaring in y'all's ears. That the arborist for the developer, along with Streets LA, be very engaged in the process of both the removal and replacement. It looks in the report that that's actually part of the process. I would urge and implore Streets LA to be very diligent in making sure that the arborist and yourselves are very engaged in that process. Intentions and practice can be different things sometimes, and so I think we want to be very careful in making sure both of those processes are handled extremely carefully. Can I get that assurance from you, Hector?
Yeah. Yes, we always communicate with the applicants and try to ensure that all alternative measures are explored before we consider the tree removal permit request. On this particular one here, it appears to be reasonable compared to what they're constructing and the amount of trees on the property. Well, they did manage to keep 5 of the 8 trees. Unfortunately, the oak tree is just a little bit too close, just the location where it's at. It is under some power lines as well, one of the service drops, and it is repeatedly pruned to clearance of line clearance as well. So, yes, we do take into consideration all of that, and we do try to make every effort to keep trees whenever possible.
And then, thank you. And then one last question. On the conditions, last sentence, paragraph 1, the survival of the tree replacement shall be guaranteed for a period of 3 years by bond. Does the developer have to put up a bond to guarantee the replacement of these trees or the survival?
Yep.
Yeah. Is that Mr. Odom?
Oh, sorry, yes, I didn't realize
Yes,
that
that's
you could
correct.
hear me. The answer is yes.
That's all right, no offense. So the answer is yes, and I got that in stereo from Hector and Mr.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I think all of us that are involved in because this is not my first time I presented a project before you regarding removal of trees. And I think one of the frustrating parts, I think for everybody is, when this meeting that we're having here this is the very, very, very last step of our entire process, rather than us starting the conversation with your office.
Yeah.
And I think, we've gone through so many different public approval processes that I guess that's all I'm trying to say is that this is the very end of the line. And another thing to mention is that a biology report was prepared on this project and was submitted to the Department of City Planning because even for single-family dwellings, if you are seeking an entitlement, as we were, if you are seeking an entitlement for a single-family house and the site is vacant, the department will require a paleontological study, an archaeological study report, and a biological study report at the very beginning of this, and all three of those were submitted. So it's a very extensive process.
Yeah, and very helpful, and you're certainly speaking to the choir relative to the sequential or the sequencing in this process. We're definitely cognizant of the challenges on all sides in us dealing with these at the very end of the line. So appreciate that. With that's the extent of my questions. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll move it.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Vice President Garcia. Do I have any objections, President Pro Tem Davis? Any objections, Commissioner Colosa?
And none, thank you.
All right. President Pro Tem Davis?
His microphone may be on mute, not sure.
Or he's frozen. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to, hearing no objections at this point, do I have a motion? Oh, I do have motions. I've got a motion. All right. Everybody hold tight for 1 second.
Oh, wow.
All right, colleagues, we have quorum. Looks like Dr. Davis has been frozen. I have a motion. Dr. Campos, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I have a motion from Commissioner Villegas and a second from Vice President Garcia. I have no objections. So hearing no objections, we're going to move the item forward forthwith. Thank you, members of the community. Thank you, Mr. Odom. Thank you, Hector, for your presentation.
Thank you.
All right, colleagues, we are going to move forward in the agenda to item number 16. We have a whole bunch of wonderful people on here. I think everyone, the risk of being master of the obvious, is aware of this very, very unusual time in our city's history, in our nation's history, and our global history. And it has reverberated all the way through. And so I will save comments for later. I see a lot of happy faces. I see balloons. I see all kinds of just great people. And the item is a recognition of all those great people from the Bureau of Engineering. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Gary Lee Moore. We're going to take about 30 minutes to recognize the retiring superstars of the Bureau of Engineering, or at least the first cohort thereof. And before we start, I do want to thank Cindy Bassett and Tessa from our team.
Hey, I'm trying to get my thing back on.
Okay. For all of their hard work in this. And then I'm going to hand it over to the indefatigable Gary Lee Moore to kick this off for us.
Well, thank you, President Good and Commissioners. Thank you for taking the time today to recognize these outstanding friends and colleagues. And so hello to the retirees, hello to their spouses, hello to their significant others, hello to their families, hello to their friends, hello to the Bureau of Engineering employees and to the public. Thank you for taking this time to recognize this outstanding group of dedicated professionals that have dedicated many, many years. As part of the Separation Incentive Program, we have 99 people retiring from the Bureau of Engineering, 10 of which are actually, this is their very last day with the city of Los Angeles. And those were the biggest smiles I think I just saw looking at the screen here. And we have another 42 that will actually be leaving on December 5th, and the last of the employees will be going in May. But today we're celebrating 50 of these employees. And in doing the math today, I added up all their years of experience. For these 50 people that are here today, 1,595 years of experience. Divide that by 50 and you get 31.9 years average for these 50 people. Truly, truly dedicated public servants who have delivered so many projects, so many permits, so many administrative items, have just been outstanding to work with. And it's so great because I know almost everybody in this group, because I've got to work with almost everybody in this group. And it's very sad, but I am so thrilled for them. They deserve it, they deserve it, and they deserve it. And we've prepared a little slideshow presentation, and the members of our executive team are going to introduce their employees. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Robert Kazumatsu, our Chief Management Analyst. And Robert, I'll turn it over to you.
Great, thank you, Gary. First employee.
Let's have Eric go ahead and start the presentation.
All right.
We'll give him a second.
There you go. William Devereaux, safety engineer, 19 years with the city. Next, please. Helen Lopez, senior management analyst 1, 35 years. And I wanted to express my sincerest thanks for your 35 years of service and all the contributions you have made to our Bureau during your city career. We're going to miss you. Okay, good. Thank you, Gary.
All right. Next, I'd like to turn it over to Deborah. Or is it Alfred? I'm sorry.
I think it's good.
That's Alfred. I'm sorry, Alfred.
No problem. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Robert. Next up, on the next slide, let me just say we have 6 employees on the Building Engineering Services Program.
Hey, Alfred, we're getting a little bit of feedback. I don't know from you.
maybe
Maybe
turn
try
it down.
muting your speakers.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll mute my speakers. No problem.
Gary, it may be, Eric, if you could make sure that your speaker's on mute as well as co-host.
Great. Thanks.
Okay, great. We'll try again. Next up, we have 6 employees from Mobility and Engineering Services Program that provide integrators dedicated service to the Bureau and the Department, improving the infrastructure of the state. First up from the Geotechnical Engineering Division, we have Vicky Estelle, Senior Management Analyst, one who's worked for 31 years.
Hey, Alfred, can you hold on 1 second? I'm sorry, do you hear that? Fernando, do you hear the echo when I speak?
I do not. I only hear the echo when Alfred is speaking.
All right, then I'll go ahead and go forward here. Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll do yours for you, Alfred, because it's next up. So we thank you, Vicky, for 31 years with the city of LA. Next, Vegan, structural engineer with our structural engineering division, was a big part of reviewing overload permits. Thank you, Vegan, 34 years. Next up, Boo Lou, 31 years, Boo. And we so much appreciate all the work you did with Metro, and you look great in that hard hat there. You look really wonderful. Gus Passero, from our real estate division, 21 years. And, for those who can see the presentation, it's just wonderful to see the photos that everybody's chosen. Gus, thanks so much for what you've done for the city. Vernon, thank you, Vernon. Civil engineer, 31 years. Has been just a rock when it comes to street design. There's no rocks in his street design. That's it for humor for me. But Vernon, thank you so much for everything you've done. And Jimmy, 36 years as a civil engineering associate 4. We really thank you and wish you much happiness and health in your retirement. And next, and thank you, Alfred, for letting me fill in there for you. And next, I'd like to ask our Chief Deputy City Engineer, Deborah Weintraub.
Hello, good afternoon. So I have the longest list of names. That means that I'm the saddest here with all the people who are leaving. The first person here, Mercedes Aguilar, with 33 years. We're really going to miss you, Mercedes. You just really understand the city and have been so on top of the work that you've done for us, most recently on the homeless facilities. Next, we have Eric Chang, 31 years as a building mechanical engineer 1. And he is looking forward to coming back when we can all be in person and we'll light City Hall in honor of the Summer Olympics. We hope everyone can be there for that. Next, we have Cyril Charles, who's worked on just a whole range of projects for the city of Los Angeles. Most recently, he's been working on the convention center expansion project that has temporarily, we hope, been put on hold, and on a major master plan for the Silver Lake Reservoir with me, as well as prior bond project. Cyril, 33 years, building mechanical engineer 2. Next. Wen Chin, who with 30 years as a senior construction engineer, has worked on bridges for a good part of his career. There you see him with the opening of the Red Car Bridge with Council Member O'Farrell. When we break ground and open the Glendale Hyperion, which has been Wen's current project, a major project that will go into construction in a couple of years, we'll have you back then. Thank you so much for all your service. Next. Jaime Contreras, architect with 31 years, one of the people who welcomed me into the city when I joined, and has been a wonderful designer and project manager. I just, this past week, visit with him his final project that he project managed, a new gym, and council member Koretz's district, a beautiful new gymnasium on Robertson Boulevard. Thank you, Hani, for all your years of service. Enjoy your retirement. Next. So Safa Cadiz has 34 years, primarily recently working on bridge projects, really important to the delivery and execution of major bridge projects. 34 years. Thank you, Safa, for all your time. Next. Brian Kinagawa, 33 years, civil engineer, also with the bridge program, also very important to making sure that we deliver projects within our budget, on time and on schedule. 33 years as a civil engineer with the city, primarily working on bridges and under my time there. Thank you, Brian. Bill Lee is a senior architect, has worked on a wide variety of projects from public facilities, buildings, from the zoo to rec and parks projects, has really been an important leader in the architectural division and is a committed architect to the power of design. 30 years with the city. Thank you, Bill. Enjoy your retirement. Next. Boy Look has 31 years with the city. Started when I started. He was in the architecture division and then moved over to be in the construction management division and has delivered construction projects, important construction projects. Right now, the Vision Theater he has been working on. We're going to miss you with the historic theater that's currently in construction. Enjoy your retirement, Hoy. Next. Ejike Mbaraguru has been with the city for 31 years as a civil engineer. Most recently, he's working in the architecture division, also working on Vision Theater and other important projects. These are wonderful photographs, Ejike. Again, I hope you are healthy and happy in your retirement. Thank you for all your years of service. Next. So my group is an eclectic group. We have Stephen Murata, who's a mechanical engineering associate 4, has been really important in delivering our public buildings and open space projects. 34 years with the city. We're really our mechanical engineering group is shrinking considerably. We're really going to miss your skill set. Thank you, Stephen. Victor Pana, with 32 years, has been a dedicated construction manager in our construction management division. He is also really going to be missed, making sure that our projects get built in the field according to how they're designed. 32 years, Victor, congratulations. Thanks. Pradeep Renati, one of the other people who welcomed me to the architecture division, 33 years with the city. He has been a historic preservation expert for us, and we're also going to miss that skill set because he's worked on some really important historic projects in the city. Congratulations, Pradeep. Mei Ling Yang, with 30 years, working primarily in our bridge program, Senior Management Analyst 1, has really served us well in keeping all of our project budgets and accounting in order so that when we report to City Hall, our numbers are clear and concise and correct. Thank you, Mei Ling. Congratulations. Next, Paul Young also welcomed me to the architecture division, 32 years. Paul is leaving us ready to start construction on the new Civil and Human Rights Department tenant improvement. Paul has also worked on a whole range of projects, most recently on the Civic Center project that was put on hold. Thanks, Paul, and congratulations in your retirement. Next. So Neil Drucker has been a jack of all trades for us, and I know he's here with his wife. He's really the person most identified in the city with Proposition K and the delivery of all of these wonderful recreation and parks projects. And we are really going to miss you, Neil. Everyone in the city knows that if someone has a question about Prop K, and fortunately, we only have 6 more years of this current program. But I know that as you drive around the city, you see a lot of projects that you've had a hand in. The city really wants to thank you for your dedication to the design and construction of recreation and parks facilities for all of our residents. Congratulations, Neil, on your retirement, 34 years. And then last but certainly not least, Alan Kawaguchi with 35 years with the city has worked the time I've been there delivering police and fire facilities. He's worked most recently on homeless facilities, really understands the city, really knows how to get things done, really knows colleagues in every quarter of the city. This is a well-deserved retirement. I'm personally really going to miss you, Alan. And congratulations on your retirement. And I just would like to thank all of you, each and every one of you, for the work you've done and the assistance you've given me. And with that, I'm going to hand it off to Ted. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. All right, so we have 8 employees retiring from the Development Services Program, and like all of you, I wish we could be in person to celebrate together, but I'm glad that we can at least do it virtually. So I want to thank all 8 of them first before I get into them one by one, but also all of the BOE retirees, because I know and have worked with all of you over the years and really going to miss you. So first up, we have Kevin Azarmahan. Kevin's a civil engineer, 32 years of service, has been in West LA. I don't know how long, but for a long, long time. And very passionate about water courses, so much so that he made it part of his retirement slides. I think it's very fitting, and thank you, Kevin, as the city expert on water courses is definitely, at least in BOE, and so we've been working hard to try to transition his knowledge. And thank you, Kevin, for your service, and enjoy your retirement. Next slide. So Jerry, we're going to miss you, Jerry. Jerry's, whenever we have our city engineer visits, we could always count on Jerry for a joke, and he's a lot of fun, and you can see his personality in his slide as well. I guess now that the Chiefs won a Super Bowl, he figured he could retire, but GIS Supervisor 2 with 39 years of experience, but as I think almost every council office, and probably many of you know, he's been one of the map experts, and I think former council member Tom LaBonge still comes over to get maps from Jerry, so he's going to be devastated when he finds out Jerry's gone. But Jerry's trained many to carry on. Next. John Delcase, senior civil engineer in our permit case management division. John loves people, he loves to help people, so he was a great fit in permit case management since that's their entire job. And John, I'm going to miss you, and thanks for your time, and I'm glad we got to have you join us. From most of his background's in wastewater for those that don't know John, but we got to have him in development services for a few years, so thank you, John. Next. James Coe, Civil Engineering Associate 3, 33 years of service, working at the public counter at Central District. Pretty certain his current assignment, I know they move around, but it's pretty certain it's with the public counter and virtual environment. It's a little bit different. Everyone's doing a little bit of everything, but lots of service to the public, and thank you, James. Next. Gladys Nakanishi, I don't want to butcher your last name. Senior systems analyst, 34 years. I've known Gladys for so many years. She was a systems analyst supporting the fire bond when I was an animal bond, and she's one of those quiet people behind the scenes that helps keep things running, and the Bureau of Engineering is so proud of our technology, and Gladys is one of those people keeping us up to date, keeping everything working, and so thank you, Gladys, really appreciate it. Next. Jim Wu, structural engineer, 36 years of service, working alongside Kevin in West LA, so the two of them were the entirety of our management structure other than the district engineer. So we're definitely going to miss Jim, and he also really loves to help people, and you can see it in his smile, his personality, and he's been so great for customer service, and we're really going to miss you, Jim. Next. So Maddie Lawn, Maddie, I know you did it just to throw us off here today because you're not wearing a tie. We could always count on Maddie. He was the one person that was dressing up more than us in all of this virtual environment. So I think he's showing off that it's his last day of work, although I think he's attending a LAMP meeting with me after this, so he's working to the end. You know, Maddie is, it's hard to describe him briefly, but he's always smiling. He thinks outside the box. He challenges us to improve all the time. Very passionate about city infrastructure, great leader for the Bureau of Engineering, most likely with our landside access modernization program, also known as LAMP, working with LAWA. Maddie, I'm really going to miss you. I look forward to all the advice you give me all the time and strategizing on how to do things, and I'm really glad that you can enjoy your retirement with your family now. Definitely going to miss you. I forgot to mention Principal Civil Engineer for 35 years. Next. Ramsey Sawaya, and our Central District Engineer, Principal Civil Engineer, 34 years of service. Ramsey, actually there's a lot of similarities between Ramsey and Maddie. They're both so honest, but I think of Ramsey as so caring and calm, and he works really hard to resolve issues, always looking to do the right thing for the city and people, but to help people, help the customers solve problems. Also has been a great leader for the Bureau of Engineering. One thing, kind of a fun note, is that Ramsey and Maddie both went to UCLA, which is where I went, so I'll be missing a few of my Bruins, but proud of how well you've greatly served the city, so thank you, Ramsey. And with that, I will hand it off to Mahmoud. I'll go to Mahmoud, Deputy City Engineer Mahmoud Karimzadeh, for his presentation.
Good afternoon, everybody. Daryl Kitigawa, Senior Management Analyst for 31 years. Daryl, congratulations. I'm so sad that I can't see you every day anymore, but I'm so glad for you and your family with this new chapter in your life. Daryl, I know Daryl for the last 20 years very closely. He has been instrumental in delivering wonderful projects for Bureau of Engineering with different programs, but most recently with the Civic Center Development Program. When he joined, I got all the confidence that with his knowledge of financial system, administrative process within the city, that we are in real good hand moving the project forward without smoothly and without any glitch. So Daryl, I know the city will miss you, your friends at the city will miss you, but we are happy that you are going to the next chapter of your life with enthusiasm, and we love you, and we love you. Please take care. Also, I want to extend my congratulations to the entire Bureau of Engineering staff that are retiring, and today we're saying goodbye to them. It's very sad to see you guys go, but it has been a wonderful time working with you. In particular, I can't stop also saying about Architectural Division employees today who are retiring, because of so long that I've been working closely with this staff. Eric Chang, Cyril Charles, I know he moved from Architectural Division to on program. And Jaime Contreras, William Lee, Bill Lee, Ejike Mbaraguru, Stephen Murata, Pradeep Ranade, Paul Young, and Neil Drucker. It has been wonderful years working with you guys. I wish you the best. Please enjoy, be safe, and enjoy your retirement. And thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't say enough thank you to you guys for wonderful work that you have done with the city and with the wonderful project Bureau of Engineering. With that, I hand it off to Julie Salter, Deputy City Engineer.
Thank you, Mahmoud. We have 2 employees retiring from the Complete Streets and Sidewalk Repair Program. First up, we have Gene Edwards, Principal Civil Engineer, 33 years. Gene is currently, most recently, the manager for the Complete Streets Program. And nice picture, Gene. That was a big surprise for us. Next. Next, we have Robert Vega, Principal Civil Engineer, 36 years with the city. Most recently, the Sidewalk Program Manager for the Sidewalk Repair Program. So, I've had the opportunity to really work closely with Gene and Robert these last few years, and they have so many great qualities, but 2 qualities that really jump out to me with these 2 gentlemen are integrity and humility. And with these 2 qualities, it really permeated everything that they did, how they approached their projects, and how they treated people. And I'm getting choked up, but I will definitely miss them, as well as the rest of the retirees with the Bureau of Engineering. So wishing you good health and happy retirement, and please come back and visit us. So thank you. Thank you. And with that, I will turn it over to Ken.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope this isn't echoing because the two previous people in the Public Works building had the echo problem. I don't hear myself echoing, so I'll proceed. The following individuals work in the Clean Water Infrastructure Program doing design, construction management of treatment plant projects, collection systems projects, clean water infrastructure projects, and survey. I'll go through each one of these, and I wish I could spend a little more time with each of them because their work is that important. And they, I want to thank them for all the dedicated service that they've provided for the city of Los Angeles, because they've truly made Los Angeles a better place. And they can be proud of their careers as they will leave a lasting legacy here in Los Angeles. So first off, we'll start with Iftikhar Ahmed, senior civil engineer with 30 years of experience and service with the city. And I've had the privilege of working with Iftikhar for many of those years in Prop O and most recently in the wastewater conveyance construction. He's just a great engineer. He's always calm and hard worker and just gets things done. And you don't have to worry when he's in charge of a project. Next is Mina Arzenia, civil engineering associate 3 with 31 years of experience. Mina will miss you. Again, fortunate to have her in a couple of my divisions for a long time doing sewer design, and most recently she's transferred over to the wastewater conveyance construction division now, overseeing construction. Thank you, Mina. Next, Henry Baziz, control system engineer 1 with 32 years of experience. Henry has led the control systems group down at EED doing the design for the treatment plants to make sure that everything worked the way it was supposed to with the controls. Just a great professional. Enjoyed my time with Henry. I will miss you. Congratulations, Henry. Next, Abhay Batai, control systems engineering associate 1, 17 years. Abhay, again, works in that control systems, and for most of my time at EED, you didn't have to worry. They had a great group down there that just made sure that all of our projects were ready to go from the control side. Thank you, Abhay, and congratulations. Next, Cesar Brigada, senior survey supervisor, 31 years. Cesar is just a joy to be around. Always has that great smile on. I'm not sure I know anybody who doesn't like Cesar. He is just a great person, and we will miss you. And I was fortunate to be able to work with you these last few years. So congratulations, Cesar. Next, Masood Chadorchi, civil engineering associate 4, 38 years. First and foremost, Masood's my friend, and he has been for 20 years. And Masood takes care of the project controls, make sure that our master schedules work, that UPRS works, and he's a hard worker. You hardly ever get to the office, and he's already been there for 2 or 3 hours taking care of things. So, my friend, I will miss you. Congratulations. Best of luck in your retirement. Next, Andy Flores, senior construction engineer with 32 years of experience. Andy and I started the same day, at least the same week anyway, in the same office for that matter. So it's great to work with Andy my entire career, and most recently he's in the Clean Water Division, formerly known as Prop O, and has taken care of many Prop O projects. So Andy, you will be greatly missed. We appreciate all you've done. Thank you. Next is Sylvester Koo, civil engineer, 28 years. Sylvester is just a dedicated employee and has been outstanding at delivering projects. Most notably, he's been in the wastewater conveyance engineering division designing sewers, both small and large, and he will be greatly missed. So thank you for your service, Sylvester. Next, John Mandry, control system engineering associate 4, 48 years. That is not a typo. John has been the stalwart of that control system group for the treatment plant group, when it was downtown, and then when it moved down to Hyperion, you could always count on John, and they turned the lights off. Here we go. Maybe it's time to go home. So John, congratulations. We wish you the best on a long retirement, well-deserved. Thank you. Next, Joseph Nemi, Electrical Engineering Associate 3 with 33 years. Joseph, also a great engineer, works down at EED in the treatment plant group doing electrical design. Just an outstanding engineer. We'll miss you. Congratulations, Joseph. Next, Feliciano Reyes, Environmental Engineering Associate 3 with 20 years. Had the pleasure of working with Feliciano, always has a smile on his face. He works in the Wastewater Conveyance Engineering Division as a sewer design project manager, does a great job, and I wish you the best in a long, happy retirement. Thank you. Next, Brad Jensen, Principal Civil Engineer, 32 years. What can I say about Brad? He is the consummate engineer and one of the premier sewer designers in the nation. And I mean that sincerely. He's known. When you go to a conference, people know that. I learned early on as a deputy when Brad, he's similar to E.F. Hutton. When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. When Brad talks about sewer design, people listen, and they should. He will be greatly missed. But more than just a great engineer, he's a true friend. So Brad, it has been a pleasure to work with you. I wish you the best and a long and happy retirement. Enjoy those grandkids. They're the best. Next, Robert Nielsen, Engineer of Surveys, for 30 years experience. Bob is a hard worker. He's passionate about survey monument preservation. Someday ask me about that, I'll tell you what that is, because I didn't know, but Bob explained it to me. He's well known in the survey circles in Southern California and is an active participant in the League of California Surveyors organization. And he taught me a lot about survey and was very passionate in the work that he did. So thank you, Bob, for the legacy that you've left. I wish you a long and happy retirement. And with that, I will hand it off to Gary.
Commissioners, we've introduced you to 49 people of the 50, and the 50th for me is very personal. Eric, if you'd put up the next slide. And that's Ken Red, Deputy City Engineer, 32 years. Ken, you've been a deputy for 10 years, and I'm choked up. We've gone through all these celebrations, and it's hard to believe it's 3/26, and this is your last day with the city of Los Angeles. Ken, you are just a wonderful team player, a wonderful innovator. The leadership that you've shown in the recruiting and promoting diversity within this bureau, you took that challenge on. You far exceeded any expectations we all had. For people who don't know, you know engineering like I wish I knew engineering. You are outstanding at engineering, but I'll just close and say you're the best as a person. And I'm lucky to call you my friend. And I am going to be so sad Monday morning, and I know you're going to be happy, but from all of us, thank you and congratulations, Ken, on an outstanding career. And Commissioner Good, President Good, I'll turn it back over to you. And I just want to say again to the 50 people we've recognized today, thank you for sharing your knowledge with all the people that are staying, because you've been so giving with your knowledge. We have the confidence to continue on as you enjoy your retirement. Thank you, President Good.
Thanks, Gary. Saw some great T-shirts there, by the way. And Brad and his better half got some very cool T-shirts there. That's awesome. Wow. Okay, so what I would like to do is invite my colleagues on the board to say a few words, and then we'll send you all home for the last time, I guess, which sounds crazy. Vice President Garcia, why don't you kick us off?
Oh, I was afraid you were going to say that, President Good. I'm sorry to say, but it made me really sad. I am genuinely sad to see so many people go. And you guys all look so young, so I don't understand where everybody's going. Because, you know, there's more life in there. So, you know, I just want to say that it was very impressive, the amount of years accumulated and just individually. Very impressive to hear that. I took notes. I saw somebody was working for 48 years. I personally, but I think in generally, it's just very impressive when somebody can be in a place and execute their career in that way. So congratulations, feel proud. You all get to take your grandkids and your kids throughout the city and show them all the great work you've done. Have a great life. Always take care of the city, like if you were still being part of it, but just genuinely, it's a really sad time to see you guys go. Neil, I'm gonna miss you. And specifically, I had a good time always working with you. And everybody else. I'll stop there, because I know we have more to go, but congratulations. Gary, are you even gonna have staff left?
We'll find out Monday morning. Yeah.
But just, everybody just have a great time in your retirement. You all deserve it. You did great things throughout the city, and we're all so proud to be part of it. I personally am proud to be part of this, of getting to knowing you for the past couple of years, and just being part of the Public Works family. So take care, everyone.
Thank you, Vice President Garcia. President Pro Tem Davis.
Okay, I don't know what happened to my screen. Well, first, what I'd like to say is that when we were informed of the separation incentive program on the Board of Public Works, we immediately said that the first thing we needed to do was to make sure that we recognize those of you who we are honoring today. And nothing for me has been more significant or important than to sit to learn about the great things that you have done for decades to make Los Angeles what it ought to be. And when I think about what makes Los Angeles great, I think about public servants like those of you who we have honored here today. All of you can look back on your career. You can look back on this milestone in life with pride. I was absolutely inspired when I heard that two of the values that represent your work is integrity and humility. And so when I look back at what we have witnessed here today, as a member of the Board of Public Works, I too feel the same pride that those who worked with you, who provided leadership for the Bureau of Engineering, I feel the same pride that they feel. So to Gary, to Deborah, Ted, Mahmoud, Alfred, Julie, and Ken, the leadership that you have provided and the reflection of the great contributions that the men and women of the Bureau of Engineering has given to Public Works in particular, but to the city of Los Angeles in general, is the kind of work that we treasure. And we know that moving forward, when they do look back with pride on the work that they have, that they will certainly think very fondly of you. I think that Bureau of Engineering is certainly a very well organized organization, and we can always depend upon engineering to give us the specifics of the projects you present before the board. But then what I will say is that some people are sad that you're leaving. I really am happy because I think you deserve every opportunity that this foundation that you have built can provide you for the rest of your life. You deserve the pension that's coming.
and you deserve the time to spend with your family. And so I will just simply end by saying that this public service that you have given has been greatly appreciated, and you will be blessed for the rest of your life for the great work that you did for Los Angeles. Thank you so very much for giving us the opportunity to work with you and to be the beneficiary of the work that you have done. You have worked with the largest and the most dynamic Bureau of Engineering in the United States of America, and we're proud of your service. Thank you.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Commissioner Villegas.
I too am like Commissioner Garcia. I don't know why, like the waterworks are just crazy right now. So sorry, I don't get emotional at all. I just feel that the diversity that we have in the city of Los Angeles and the imprint that so many humble brains have touched our projects and made the city that we have today. It's impactful. I'm so sorry, I don't know why I'm so crying.
Tears of joy.
Yeah. That is all. Too many emotions, but I too believe that, and my poor daughter's coming over here to give me a hug. I too believe that, as Commissioner Davis so eloquently said, that we are indeed happy for you. And maybe I'm just getting older, but I also feel that you're all really young, and there's another chapter that lies ahead for you. And I wish you all of the best in your future endeavors, whether it is traveling the world or whether it is, you know, doing another career. There's a lot of brain power there, and it doesn't just go to sleep. I know that. So, felicidades. I wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Commissioner Colosa.
Thank you, President Good. Hi, everyone. I, echo the sentiments of all my colleagues and everything that they've expressed. I thought for sure that, these tech issues were not a coincidence. It must have been engineered by Mr. Gary Lee Moore or Greg, that we don't want to see you all leave today, that we really were having all these tech issues in the beginning. But I think looking at all the pictures, looking at all the years that you have poured into the city, all the time, sweat, and tears that you've put into all the projects, you can really see the care and compassion that each person here has for the work that they do, and how proud you're all to be part of not just a bureau, not just a department, but really an institution that is world-renowned. I think that much we all know is that the Bureau of Engineering is not just known locally or nationally, but really worldwide for the work that you all do. And that's because you're all, such amazing public servants. It's not just a job to you. And that's why the work that you all do, it really shines through, because you're all one of a kind. I hope that as you are all enjoying your retirement and you're driving around with your loved ones in the city, and you look around, you remember and you reflect on all these amazing things that you've built, and that you can look so proudly at this beautiful city and see what a difference you've made. What a difference you've made to so many families, so many children, so many other public servants who are going to benefit from the work that you've all led. And I truly feel very fortunate that I've gotten to spend so much time with all of you as your liaison, that I've gotten to spend hours and hours upon briefings, especially when I first started. You all opened me in with open arms, and you've really made me feel at home. And so, I'm just at a loss, for all the talent that we're going to see go out the door. But just know that we're all in the city, in the Bureau, and Public Works as a whole is in a better place because you were here to really help move the ball forward in so many significant ways. And so I'm just going to mention a few names, mostly because I got to work with you all so closely, so I would be remiss if I didn't just say thank you specifically to these people. Ken, I'll start with you first. Ken, thank you so much for everything that you've done. You are an amazing troubleshooter, and you lead with such integrity that I know that whoever follows in your path has a lot of really big shoes to fill. But I know that they'll know how to lead, and they'll know how to do it in the way that you were able to, because you've set an incredible legacy during your time at the Bureau of Engineering. So thank you. Mahmood, no, I think Gary's nodding.
Yeah, next time.
Sorry, I'm off track. I'm just going to mention the rest of the names here before I get too caught up. But Gwen, Ramsey, Maddie, Neil, Alan, Andy, Cyril, Jean, Robert, Bradley, Caesar, Augusto, Jerry. I could say and go on 20 more minutes talking about each of you. Just know that you're in our hearts, and I'm both very upset and very happy for you. And just know that we thank you so much for your service, and thank you for all you've done. So we hope you enjoy your retirement.
Thank you, Commissioner Colosa. I have a couple of tasks. I'll keep it fairly brief. I will acknowledge up front that it feels sort of, I feel almost awkward, sort of tasked with wrapping up or closing a family meeting. I feel, as a virtual rookie, I've been in this joint for 7 years now, 7 years plus, and I was struck signing certificates, Gary hit on this, by the literally thousands of hours, or millions of hours, I don't know. You guys are all engineers. You would be able to do that much quicker than I could. But the thousands of years, literally thousands of years, I feel humbled. I feel privileged, and I feel small among giants. To the families who are listening to this, to every single one of you, it is not an exaggeration to say all of us will walk out of whatever building we're in, whatever house we're in, whatever apartment we're in today, tonight, whatever, and we will look at a city. We will walk and navigate and traverse and live and appreciate and enjoy a city that, but for the people on this screen, minus us appointed people, but for the people on this screen, it would be a very different city. It would be a vastly different city. And that is a reflection of the stalwart, wonderful, committed, humble, professional, laser beam focused warriors that we all just get the privilege to step in and work with, while you all have literally created the marrow of this city. I am so deeply moved by looking at all of y'all and seeing that presentation. It is an existential moment in the history of this nation and of this city. It is a challenging moment that led us to right here, right now. We don't get to hug. Y'all don't get to hug. We'd be the least interested, y'all would be least interested in hugging all of us appointed people. Y'all don't get to hug, and that breaks my heart. But in that moment, there are moments of grace, and being able to all come together, even if it's over a Zoom, and pause and reflect on careers of achievement, on building a foundation that my daughter will get to enjoy living in this city. She won't ever have to think about the sewer lines that Brad and Ken took care of, because they're there. She won't have to worry about it. She won't have to worry about what LAX is looking like. She's just going to enjoy it because of Maddie, because of all the folks here. She'll just enjoy looking at the skyline of Los Angeles that would not be possible but for all of the development work that's been done by the people here. She'll just enjoy it. She'll live it, and it's a testament to y'all. So I humbly and again from a place of privilege and profound appreciation, I want to thank y'all on behalf of the mayor, on behalf of my colleagues, although they've handled it quite gracefully and tearfully as well. And I thank y'all very, very much for your service, and wish you all. I'm not gonna agree with my colleagues. I'm not happy at all. I wish there was a switch that I could flick that would make you all stay, because we would be better off. But I wish you all the incredible enjoyment as you all go off and do all the things you do. And I hope you enjoy the martini or the orange juice or the Coca-Cola or the water or the coffee or whatever you're going to be pouring tonight. Please make sure you enjoy. And thank you for your service, and congratulations. You deserve everything you get. With that, you all have a couple things coming in the mail: a letter from the board, and then a certificate. Again, you'd all have the opportunity. We'd all be able to give them to you in person. It'll be coming to you. I'll read it. This is Barbara Sheffries. But congratulations on your many years of distinguished service and achievement in public service. Your professionalism and dedication to the board and the citizens of the city of Los Angeles is to be commended. With best wishes for your future health, prosperity, and happiness, thank you on behalf of the Board of Public Works and in recognition of your service. You're all superstars. Thank you so much. The people of Los Angeles don't know what you all bring and what you brought to this city. So thank you for that. I'm sorry, I'm a little fired up with all of you, and I wish I could pour the martinis. But please go enjoy your retirement. Ken, root for the Cougars, enjoy yourself. All of you have a great weekend. Congratulations to the grandfather, godfather, Brad Jensen, and all of you. And thank you, Gary Lee. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you to all the leadership for building such an unbelievable family of experts and leaders. You're wonderful. So thank you all.
Hey.
Yeah, we're all doing the virtual pauses.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Now, you're all welcome to stay. We actually have some very tedious stuff to continue working on, but I don't think you really want to. Go enjoy yourselves. Thank you all very, very much. Colleagues, you don't get to go anywhere, so stick around. But I'll tell you what, we'll take a 5-minute recess, colleagues, and thank you all, BOE. Congratulations.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, G.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye, John.
Congratulations. 2 reasons to celebrate.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Ethan.
Congratulations. We have a new president.
Congratulations, Jean and Robert and the rest of BOE. And I was hoping Bob Wilson would get a serenade.
Yes.
I see the guitar, Bob Wilson.
John, I like your comment.
Oh, we have a new president.
Indeed.
Let me go ahead and. All right, Mr. President, the recording is back on.
Okay. So, one quick item of clarification, y'all.
Mr. President, can I just reestablish quorum just for the record?
Yeah, please, of course.
It's 356 for the record. We have President Good, Vice President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioners Caloza and Villegas on the line. President Good, you do have a quorum.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Campos. One point of clarification, folks. The items I continued at the beginning are actually items 2, 6, and 15. 6 and 15 both being reports on the Public Works Trust Fund, and 2 being the Alameda Street widening project. So we're continuing items 2, 6, and 15. Items remaining for us right now are items 4, for which Ethan is with us, 4 is Troy, and that is item 4, all council districts contract renewal with Hatch Company. Hi, Troy.
Hi, good afternoon.
We are, the item recommends the board request authority from the Board of Public Works to exercise the 5-year renewal option between the City of Los Angeles and Hatch Company for wastewater collection system flow monitoring data. All terms and conditions remain in effect. The total contract cost ceiling also remains unchanged at $13 million. This is not subject to the mayor's cost containment process, ladies and gentlemen. So, Troy, please proceed, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, Commissioners, LA Sanitation and Environment. This item is to request the board to exercise the 5-year renewal option contained in our contract between the City of Los Angeles and the Hawk Company for wastewater collection system flow gauging data. Just to give you some quick background, this contract was originally approved back in December 2014. It was a 5-year term with a 5-year renewal option. We're currently done with the first term of the contract. So the renewal option is from this year to 2025. The total cost ceiling for this project was $13 million over the 10 years. This contract will be funded by the Sewer Construction and Maintenance Fund. So over the past 5 years, dating from 2015 to 2020, this year, we have installed, calibrated, maintained over 200 flow monitoring gauges. These gauges are, it's important to point out and emphasize that these gauges are essentially our eyes and ears of our entire collection system. They are critical to support our operations, emergency response during wet weather, system capacity assurance, advanced conveyance planning support, maintenance of our hydrodynamic sewer model, and billing for our 29 contract agencies that discharge wastewater into our system. This contract was recommended due to the limitation of city staff and certified expertise that will be needed to perform this scope of work. With the data we've received so far from gauging, we have saved approximately $300 million during our reassessment of existing capital sewer improvement projects. Therefore, I authorize the board to please exercise our 5-year renewal option to 2025 between the city and the Hawk Company for flow gauging data. As mentioned, all the terms and conditions remain in effect. We're not requesting additional funding. This concludes my overview, and I can answer any questions that you guys may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Troy. Colleagues, any questions or comments? We'll start with you, Vice President Garcia.
I do not have any questions. Thank you, Troy, for your report.
Thank you, Vice President Garcia. President Pro Tem Davis.
Yeah, Troy, can you discuss subcontracting outreach opportunities, if in fact there are any in a project like this?
Yes, thank you for that question. We do have some minority business that are involved as subcontractors for this project, also women business enterprises as well, and they do have some participation as part of this contract. As I mentioned, we've just finished our first term, which was 2015 to 2020 this year, and we do have minority business completing the majority of our installations, our calibrations of our flow meters that we currently have in our system, and they will continue to do so, and we expect to meet our anticipation levels for minority and women business enterprises.
So the next contract is for the next 5 years, is it?
So it's the same contract. It's essentially a 10-year contract when we initially proposed the work. We are in the middle of the contract, so we are basically requesting to renew it for the remaining 5 years because we had the 5-year renewal option.
Great. Well, I'm very happy to see, even though I know that this is an area of subspecialty, that we have been able to eke out some opportunity for small businesses. I know oftentimes in projects like these we're not, but I encourage us to continue in these big kind of technical projects to see if we can achieve what we have been able to in this project. So thank you for that discussion and for that revelation about what we have been able to accomplish.
Thank you. No problem.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. And agreed. Any questions, Commissioner Coloso?
Thank you, President Good. I just wanted to follow up on Commissioner Davis's question and just wanted to ask whether or not any of these subcontractors, whether they lost any of their certifications. I'm just asking since I noticed there is some shifts in the pledge numbers, like there's no WBE participation for this renewal, and there was just like 1.5% in the first iteration.
So the question was whether we anticipate having WBE participation in the renewal?
No, I was just asking if any of the subcontractors, did they lose any certifications since there was a drop in the pledge numbers for this renewal?
So yes, there was. So the current WBE we see now is our company Target 1. I believe at the time they did some of the work that we were partaking for the first term of the contract. However, I've been told, this predates me starting to work with the gauging program, that they no longer do the certified work that we need for this project. So that's why for the second term of the contract, we're not seeing their participation because they essentially don't do the work anymore, specific to what they were doing in the previous term.
Got it. Thank you for clarifying that. I don't think I have any other questions for you, but I appreciate you talking about some of the cost savings that resulted in terms of using this specific contract and using this data and what savings that resulted for the city. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Coloso. Commissioner Villegas.
I have no questions. Thank you.
Okay. This is crucial stuff, Troy, so thanks. All we have to do is read the report and think about what happens if we don't have this data. So thank you, and I have no further questions. Do I have a motion to move this forward?
I'll move.
Second.
Right, got a motion from Commissioner Coloso, seconded by President Pro Tem Davis. Any objections, Vice President Garcia or Commissioner Villegas?
No objection.
And no objections from me either. Thank you.
All right, hearing no objections, this item is approved forthwith. Thank you, Troy.
Thank you guys for having me.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Okay, our next item is item number 5. And this is construction services contract and budget increase, capital improvement project 5125, Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant, Advanced Water Purification Facility, Advanced Oxidation Process Ammonia Injection System Project. Thank you, Ethan, for coming up with such an elegant name for this project. Rolled right off my tongue. Recommending the board authorize $800,000 in additional budget and approve a revised budget of $1,780,000 for the Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant, Advanced Water Purification Facility, Advanced Oxidation Process Ammonia Injection System Project, and authorize the Director of the Bureau of Sanitation to request the city engineer to use the Cisco and to issue task work orders to the Cisco contractor for an amount not to exceed $1,780,000 for the project. Ethan Wong is with us. Good afternoon, Ethan.
Good afternoon. This is Ethan Wong with the Bureau of Engineering, Environmental Engineering Division. I can't take credit for the name or for naming it. Somebody else did that. I appreciate you reading through it, President Good. Just some background on the Advanced Water Purification Facility at Terminal Island. The original phase 1 of the project was completed back in 2001. We did a very big upgrade and completed that in 2017, where we added microfiltration and reverse osmosis to the system. So currently the Advanced Water Purification Facility, or AWPF, provides purified water to the Dominguez Gap groundwater barrier, as well as the Department of Water and Power's harbor generating station. So after the completion in 2017 of the upgrades, in February 2018, high concentrations of bromate were discovered in the influent to the AWPF. Bromate is a carcinogen and needs to be removed, obviously, from the water that goes into the groundwater and whatnot. So an ammonia system, which will neutralize the bromate in the water, was brought on as a temporary means to basically take care of the bromate issue. So operating currently at the facility is an interim ammonia injection system with temporary pumps and piping. The project before you will be the permanent replacement of that temporary facility. We originally brought this project before you in February of 2020 with a not to exceed budget of $980,000. Since that time, there has been some scope additions, which is why we are coming before you today to request $800,000 in additional budget. The primary reasons for the increase in budget have to do with the containment system for the ammonia. Ammonia is a very hazardous chemical. So in the original budget, we had designed a containment system for ammonia spills, but for worker safety and increased safety throughout, we decided it needed to be upgraded to contain up to 110% of the capacity of ammonia that will be within the tank. So obviously, expanding the containment increased the foundation thickness, the volume of concrete used, and so on and so forth. That's a big portion of the $800,000, roughly half of that, maybe actually a little bit more. It was also requested that we add additional instrumentation and controls for monitoring the hazardous chemical, which is another big portion, a couple $100,000. And the ammonia tank used in the estimate also was undervalued. It didn't include the passivation of the tank, which is a chemical process that makes the tank more resilient to corrosion, and it also didn't have the right pressure factor, so the cost of the tank also went up. Obviously, this critical project for Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant, and I'd be happy to answer any questions regarding this report and project at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ethan. Colleagues, any questions or comments, Vice President Garcia?
No, but I think I asked this last time, and my general question is, sorry, I guess I do have a question, President Good. My question, Ethan, is, I know that we're working on getting the system to eventually work, the advanced purification. I forgot the rest of the name of it. Is that project, when is it intended to be completed? The advanced purification water. Is this part of this?
This is, an add-on to the advanced water purification facility. The facility is already working. So there's a temporary ammonia injection system that this project will replace. That's part of the advanced water purification facility currently. The system is currently working, and we're providing water to the, make sure I don't, the Dominguez Gap groundwater basin, which is basically domestic water. So we're providing water to different customers as well as DWP.
Oh, okay. That's all my questions. I just wanted the overall project. You know, when can we taste water, clean water?
Yeah, the water's in use.
The first one to line up, though. But
yeah, it's actually already being used. So.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Vice President Garcia. President Pro Tem Davis.
Yeah, Ethan, the $800,000 you did explain to us. You also mentioned that there is the cost of the tank, and then there is some process, some scientific process that we have to do to the tank. How much does that, what's the approximate cost of that?
The preservation is about $30,000 additional cost.
Okay, and then do we have to buy another tank as well?
No, we haven't purchased the tank yet. This is we asked for the budget increase before we actually did any of the work.
And then we do have some, out of that 800,000, then we do have some balance that will give us the contingency, operating incidental resources or funding, if you will. Is that
correct?
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's somewhere around 150,000 or something around in there, right? Somewhere.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty close. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Commissioner Colosa?
I don't have any questions. Thanks, Mr. Wong, for breaking this down for us. And I know it's a very complicated process, but one that, like you mentioned, is extremely important to public health, to the safety of our residents. So I'm just glad that you're all working on it and on top of all this work. So thank you.
Thank you.
And Commissioner Villegas. Commissioner Villegas? Is she frozen? Oh, there we go.
It looks like she's frozen.
Wait, now did we get her back?
We lost her.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Mr. President, we can wait a few seconds to see if we can get her back, or if you prefer, we can put this item on the table and then continue to item 14, which is an oral report. It's received in file.
If she calls back in, we should be able to get her.
Oh, she may be coming in. Give her about 10 seconds.
In fact, I think I see her.
Okay.
Yes.
There we go.
There she is.
All right.
Our long lost friend. Any questions on this item, Commissioner Villegas?
My apologies, I just had a disconnection. I heard the whole discussion, and I even heard Commissioner Davis's questions. I just came off for a little bit. I had no questions. I'm really familiar with this project, and just before pandemic, just did a tour of it as well. So I'm good. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. All right. I have no questions, Ethan. Appreciate the presentation as always. Do I have a motion to move this forward?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Second by President Pro Tem Davis. Any objections, Commissioners, or Commissioner Colosa and Vice President Garcia?
No objections.
All right, hearing no objections, the item is approved forthwith, not subject actually to the mayor's cost containment process. So thank you, Ethan, very much. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your patience.
No problem.
Speaking of patience, item number 14, Antonio Becerra is here with us from Streets LA to update us on major upcoming street improvement projects. Antonio, sorry to have gone so deep into the afternoon. Your colleague sang for us in the last update, so I don't mean to create a tough standard, but why don't you jump into your update?
My colleague did tell me that he did a nice performance, but I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to follow up after that recognition with all these retirees. I'll try my best, but I can tell you I'm not retiring yet, so that's a good thing.
Thank goodness for us.
Okay, so good afternoon, President Good, commissioners, bureau representatives, city attorney, and executive officer. My name is Antonio Becerra, Jr., Superintendent with Streets LA. In order to keep the public informed on the upcoming resurfacing projects and to minimize the impact on the community, as well as delays to the commuters, Streets LA would like to provide you with an update on all major upcoming street improvement projects. The following projects are scheduled as follows. In the Metro resurfacing region, Monday, November 9th, and Tuesday, November 10th, from 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m., we will co-mill and pave Main Street from MLK Jr. Boulevard to Vernon Avenue in CD9, South Los Angeles Neighborhood Council. Funding for this project is Complete Streets. Thursday, November 12th, 2020, and Friday, November 13th, 2020, from 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m., we will cold mill and pave Florence Avenue from Halldale Avenue to Dalton Avenue in CD8, South Los Angeles Neighborhood Council. Funding for this project is LAPWP. During the week of November 8th through November 14th, the Metro region will complete 10 projects for a total of 4.16 lane miles. Switching over to the Valley resurfacing region, Monday, November 9th, from 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m., we will pave Chatsworth Street from Canoga Avenue to Topanga Canyon Boulevard in CD12, Chatsworth Neighborhood Council. Funding for this project is the Pavement Preservation Program, or PPP. During the week of November 8th through November 14th, the Valley region will complete 11 projects for a total of 8.07 lane miles. The press releases were broadcast, work notifications have been issued, and Streets LA has coordinated with the Council District's office to assist with the outreach to stakeholders. We have also coordinated with the Los Angeles Department of Transportation for traffic control assistance. This concludes my report.
Thank you, Antonio. Singing notwithstanding, very well done. Thank you. And I'm glad you're not retiring. Any questions, colleagues? Vice President Garcia?
No questions, thank you.
President Pro Tem Davis?
None, thank you.
All right, and Commissioner Closa?
No questions, thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Villegas?
None.
All right, I have none either. Appreciate that walkthrough, and you have a great weekend, Antonio.
Likewise, you all do the same. Thank you.
All right.
Mr. President, on item number 14, we did have a caller on the line, Mr. Tom Williams. He's no longer on the line. However, he was able to submit a commentary through our Google form online through our website. Dr. Clyde T. Williams on item 14 writes, please provide a monthly email web notices update to all neighborhood councils via DUN for street improvement enclosures within each relevant zip code or other area designations. Wanted to read that into the record since he's not on the line.
Thank you. Appreciate that. With that, is the table, the deck clear, Dr. Campos?
Yes, it is.
Mr. President?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought, did we do Public Works Trust Fund update?
I continued those items for Friday.
Okay, gotcha. All right, thanks.
Uh-huh. But thank you for being on top of that.
And those items were continued to Friday, November 13th.
Yes, those will be next Friday, Mike.
All right, thanks.
So we're all covered, Dr. Campos?
The desk is clear, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This meeting is officially adjourned.
Thank you. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Hey, y'all. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Antonio.
Thank you.